Hey there. My name is Amber Groover. I am 37 years old. And I have breast implant illness. I'm coming to you to explain basically what it has been like for me to discover that that's what's wrong with me. So I got my breast implants in 2012 after I gave birth to my two daughters. I had my oldest in 2010 and my youngest in 2012. I am being very informal today, and I'm going to be very brief just because I need to go get the kids. But I wanted to start my YouTube journey with you guys and break it all down. All of my loved ones and very close friends know what has been going on with me for the last year and a half. Really what's been going on since I got the implants. But like I said, it's hard to realize what's going on and that it's actually an implant problem. So for some background, I am a pediatric nurse. I was working as a school nurse at a local elementary school, and I loved my kids, still love my kids, love them all. I miss them immensely. And yes, I'm walking and talking because I'm very anxious, and you'll see why. So again, I got my implants in 2012, December of 2012, and everything was fine. To be honest, I'm not going to say I loved them. I came out, and like I said, I still have them, so you can kind of see. I am 5'7". I am 110 pounds. I'm a very small, skinny girl. I wear a triple D, 32 triple D size bra. So they're large, but again, I went to a consultation with my plastic surgeon. A lot of girls use and love him. Still love him to this day. And 2 weeks later, I was like, heck yeah, I'm getting breast implants. And I was in surgery. So without knowing anything about the implications that can occur. Not long after I got my implants, I noticed that I started having severe anxiety, which I just chalked up to being a new mom, having two kids 22 months apart, just life in general. And the anxiety wasn't horrible at that time. It was manageable. I didn't need to be on medicine or anything. Just needed to, keep my wits about me is what I thought. So, time progressed. I started, maybe a year or two later, started having major gastro issues, where I was going to the bathroom, being transparent again, 6 to 7 times a morning. My father was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, so I thought that that's what it had to be, or IBS or something like that. So again, trying to make lifestyle changes and just be healthier. I worked out every morning, dropped my kids off at school, went to the gym every single day. None of that seemed to help calm the anxiety or the gastro issues. Again, this was back in about 2013 or 14 when I started having these particular issues. Progressively, my anxiety got to the point where I could barely drive a car on the road without wanting to have or having almost a panic attack. So what do? You go see your doctor, right? So I go see my doctor. They started me on Lexapro, didn't help, Celexa, Effexor, all the things. The list goes on and on and on. I was very adamant that I did not want to be on any sort of controlled substance like a Xanax or something, or even a Valium. So continued to just work with my doctor and handle the anxiety of what I thought was just being a busy mom. At the age of 3, my youngest daughter became a gymnast. She was going to gymnastics, several times a week. She still continues to do that to this day. And I just chalked everything up to that. So we're going to fast forward again. Throughout the years, the anxiety and depression creeped in, and the gastro issues continued. Started to get some joint pains. Again, I was getting older. I was active. I thought maybe it just had to do with me working out too much, too hard. Who knows? Just didn't think about it. So we'll fast forward to when I hit rock bottom and life became hell. On October 2nd of 2021, I did my normal routine of, kind of going to town, running errands. It was a Saturday in the middle of college football season, and me and my husband are huge, huge football fans. So normally on Saturdays, we sit on the porch and eat snacks and watch football all day. Go Gators. That day, I went to Chick-fil-A and I got the family lunch. I came home, sat on the porch with my husband, ate my Chick-fil-A, felt totally fine, got ready to watch the game. And out of nowhere, I literally thought I was at first it felt like I was having a heart attack. I could not breathe. Just hit me like a ton of bricks. I yelled for my husband. I did end up getting into my room and tried to lay down on my bed, and I just couldn't. I was like on all fours telling him something was wrong. I can't breathe. So of course he got me to the car and started to rush me to the emergency room. And by the time we got not even a quarter mile from our home, I began to not be able to feel my limbs at all. Could not move them. Could not do anything. I was just laying there like a limp noodle, and I was screaming for help. I was still conscious and alert of everything that was going on with my body. At that point, my husband called 911, and we got to a closer gas station. We waited there for an ambulance to arrive. The ambulance and the EMTs assumed I was having some sort of panic attack. However, I did not accept that because I'd had panic attack before, and I could still feel my limbs, and I could still have full functioning of my body. At this point, I could not even lift a finger or an arm or a leg or squeeze anybody's hand or basically even sit up. So I had my husband remove them from my car and continue to drive me to the emergency room. Upon arrival, they of course did all the testing, blood tests, CT, all of that. We ruled out a stroke. We ruled out all my blood work was fine. Like I was just totally normal and nothing was wrong with me. Eventually over time that day, I did come back to normal. What we in the nurse door was called homeostasis. So I felt back to normal. And I thought, well, it must have been a panic attack. Since that day on October 2nd of 2021, I cannot count the amount of times my husband has had to rush me into the car and rush me to the emergency room. I have seen every doctor that I've been sent to be seen by. My general practitioners ran every test she can. Neurologists have ran EEGs along with a 3-day EEG that was unmedicated. I have been on Keppra and 1 milligram extended release 24-hour Xanax tablet since that day, October 2nd of 21. This is now September of 2023. I had to go on a medical leave from my job and thought it was short-lived. I thought I would get it under control and I could go back to work and do what I love, taking care of my 550 school kids every day. That didn't happen. I was out of work until my FMLA was about to run out, and I had no other choice but to go back. So I mustered up my strength and I went back to work. I was at work for all of a week and decided that it was best for me to resign from my position due to the fact that I was no longer an employee they could rely on. I didn't know from day to day what was going to happen, how I was going to feel, if I could go to work. It became a toxic environment almost, because I feel like I was treated as if like nobody believed what was going on with me. So I resigned from my job, and I have not worked in the medical field since due to my health. I've been in the emergency room more times in the last year and a half than I care to count. Let's just say way more than I've ever been in 37 years of life. Again, all blood work comes back normal. I've been having chest pain that literally feels like my heart's going to explode. I wake up with it almost daily. So I was at my wit's end, and I went back to my general practitioner and I said, we've done all this and now I'm having this horrible chest pain that won't go away. I mean, as I speak to you, I have chest pain. But it's not cardiac related. I have had EEGs, EKGs, stress tests, multiple tests ran on my body, and everything says I am 100% normal and healthy, which I am not. So a couple months ago, my general practitioner mentioned that I could have breast implant illness, although she's not really supposed to tell me that. And I'll tell you why. Because the FDA does not actually recognize it as an actual illness or an actual, it doesn't have a diagnosis code. There's no procedural test. There's no protocol. There's no nothing. So I then made an appointment with my plastic surgeon who put them in, and he agreed that I needed to have them taken out. So the month after I went to the plastic surgeon, I decided I was going to enter the Mrs. Georgia America pageant. I've done beauty pageants my whole life, and never in a million years did I think I would go to Atlanta and win that pageant. And I did, which was wonderful. I was super ecstatic. I could not wait to represent Georgia in Vegas at the Mrs. American pageant. However, that put my breast implant removal on hold. I only had about 2 months to prepare to go to Vegas after winning Georgia, and I focused all my energy on that. I then went to Vegas for 10 days, which was an amazing experience. I've never been to Vegas and never been that far west. I live in Georgia, for the record. Very, very, very South Georgia. And so went to Vegas and made top 15 at Mrs. American, which was, again, a dream come true for me. Last night I was there, I had an attack, and my husband had actually flown out the day before. So luckily I had my sister Queen with me. I was able to get her on the phone. I was able to prop my door open before it actually hit me, because at this point I can feel it coming, 5 minutes before it's actually going to hit. I know it's coming. I took an emergency medication at the time. Right now it's Atarax hydroxyzine. And she came and stayed with me and rubbed my back. And I told her, as long as I can still communicate and I don't lose consciousness, then I'm fine. I'll get through it. And I did. I then came home, and I've been home not long. I've only been home, 3 weeks since the pageant. So, it's just been a downward spiral. I was in the emergency room yesterday, with left side weakness, left side chest pain. I actually failed all the stroke testing. So hands up, my left arm was still falling. Peripheral vision testing, this sort of thing that they do. Tell me when you can see my hand. I was failing it on my left side. So anyway, I spent last night in the emergency room, and for me that was it. So this morning I called my plastic surgeon, and I have decided to explant and get these toxic balloons out of my chest. It is very emotional. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's hard not knowing what your body's going to look like after 10 years of having some, of having them. You just don't know what you're going to look like. So I am excited because I'm so ready to feel better and to not be sick anymore. And hopefully the next time you guys see me, I will actually look like Amber and have my face done and my hair down. But I just didn't have the energy today to do all of that. So that's what's going on. And I just decided I would do this video on YouTube just to kind of get the word out and tell my story and tell my perspective on things. And the surgery is scheduled for October 17th, which is not long, about a little under a month, or excuse me, a little over a month from now. And after I have it done, I will give you guys an update on how I feel and how I'm doing. Since I've discovered, it's starting to rain on me. South Georgia weather for you. Since I've discovered I have this illness, I've come upon so many other women who also have it, and thousands of women actually that have it, and not just women I see online. It's women that I actually know personally, friends of friends. I actually met a girl in Vegas who had her implants removed for the same reason. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to keep this kind of brief. I don't really have the energy. I'm very emotional today, just over the whole aspect of all of this. So I am going to post another video when it's explant day and these things are getting evacuated from this body, and this body is going to be healthy again. I am determined. So all of you ladies out there that have struggled with this or are struggling with this, please keep watching, and I will keep you all updated. And I love my family and my support system, and I couldn't ask for anything more from any of them. And so this is Amber Groover. I'm signing off for now, but next time you see me, I'll be in a much happier place, I promise. See you later.